So, ang papag-usapan po natin for today is the most recent development po dun sa issue between Senator Risa Hontiveros and Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Specifically po dun tungkol po dun sa witness na si Witness Michael, kung saan bumaliktad ngayon si Witness Michael, tapos yung allegation ni Witness Michael is binayaran daw po siya ni Senator Risa Hontiveros. Kaya niya nasabi yung mga nasabi niya dun sa Senate hearing. After po nun, si Senator Risa ngayon sa social media niya, naglabas naman po ng resibo na si Michael daw yung lumapit sa office niya at wala naman daw pong bayaran na nangyari. Okay? Until eventually, the most recent event that occurred was on July 2, 2025, which is ito na po yun, yung fina-flash ko ngayon sa screen, kung saan si Senator Risa Hontiveros filed cyber libel rap versus people behind ex-witness video. Okay? So, explain ko po sa inyo kung ano ba talaga yung cyber libel at ano yung mga pwedeng defense ng mga kinasuhan po dito sa issue na to. Okay? And lastly, tatandaan po natin na hindi ko po sinasabi na guilty si Senator Risa Hontiveros or totoong nagkaroon talaga ng bayaran. I would just like to make it clear out there kasi minsan yung mga ibang tao po or ibang viewers ko is medyo parang fanatic po kayo sa mga certain political figures. Therefore, kung yung explanation ko, yung legal explanation ko is hindi pabor dun sa political figure na sinusuportahan ninyo in relation po sa legal issue na lumalabas dito sa public matter na pinapag-usapan natin, tingin nyo na mumulitika daw ako. Hindi po ganun yun, okay? I am simply explaining po the law that applies dito sa mga legal issues na pinapag-usapan natin in relation sa mga public events po or current events na binabalita po ng ating mainstream media. Okay? In other words, this is a legal educational video. Kung tingin po ninyo this is a political video, wala na po akong magagawa doon. But at the end of the day, ang purpose ko lang po talaga dito is para maintindihan ng viewer ko kung ano ba yung mga batas na nag-a-apply in relation to the legal issues that we are discussing. Okay? So anyway, start na po tayo sa discussion natin. So of course, alam naman po natin, 'di ba, na si Senator Risa, she filed cyber libel cases. So explain ko po muna sa inyo kung ano ba talaga yung libel in general. Okay? So the crime of libel po, the simplest way to explain that is ito yung krimen kung saan naninirang puri po kayo, 'di ba? In short, may sasabihin po kayo or may gagawin kayo para siraan yung reputation, yung character or yung integrity ng other person, at yung paggawa po ninyo nung paninira na yon is meron kayong malicious intent or sinadya nyo talaga sabihin or gawin yon para siraan nga po yung tao na involved. Okay? So that is the crime of libel in a nutshell. Ngayon, ang next question naman natin, bakit nagkaroon nung cyber dun sa cyber libel? Okay? So kaya po nagkaroon niya ng cyber is because of our Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So under the Cybercrime Prevention Act po natin, lahat po ng mga, hindi po lahat, certain criminal laws po natin under the Revised Penal Code, one of which is our libel laws. If it is going to be committed through digital means, magiging cybercrime na siya. Okay? Therefore, since yung dito, yung allegation po ni Senator Risa is siniraan daw yung reputation niya at nung Senate at nung staff niya via dun sa video at pagpakalat ng video, since ginawa po yun via social media, therefore digital means yun, kaya po yung final niya na case is cyber libel. Okay? Ganyan po yan. In other words po, the crime of cyber libel is the crime of libel committed only via digital means, one of which is via social media sa Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, so on and so forth. Okay? So yan po yung krimen na libel and or cyber libel. And dito po sa case si Senator Risa Hontiveros, of course, ang tingin po niya dahil pinakalat yung video na yun ni Witness Michael is na posibleng masira yung reputation niya as a person and as a senator. Therefore, she believes meron siyang valid cause of action for the crime of cyber libel. Okay? So ngayon, ang next question natin, kasi may nakita po akong comment bakit daw hindi sinama yung ibang mga mainstream media na nag-share din ng video ni Witness Michael. And the reason for that po, the simplest way I can answer that po, kasi tatandaan po natin yung isa pong tao, isang complainant, he or she has the full discretion po to determine kung sino yung fa-filean niya ng kaso. Okay? Yan po yung talaga yung prerogative niya or choice po yan ng isang complainant. So kung sa tingin niya dapat limited lang yung case dito sa mga taong binanggit niya, edi choice niya po yun. In other words, kung ayaw niya po isama yung other individuals, then that is fully dependent po talaga sa isang complainant. So hindi po natin pwede sisihin si Senator Risa dito kung hindi niya sinama yung other mainstream medias, because at the end of the day, she is the complainant, and if she feels na ito lang yung nag-violate ng karapatan niya, edi yun lang yung dapat niyang kasuhan. Okay? So anyway, ngayon tuloy po tayo sa next question natin. So ang sagot po dyan is kahit na po let's say totoo talaga, ito po for discussion and educational purposes lang, baka kung ano-ano naman isipin ng mga basher natin dyan eh. So let's say totoo po na nagkaroon talaga ng bayaran or ng tanim na witness, okay? So kung totoo po yun, tapos ngayon yung mga vloggers is yun yung kinakalat nila na nagkaroon talaga ng bayaran and or tanim na witness, hindi pa rin po yun absolute defense on the side or for the benefit of the vloggers kahit na po again for discussion purposes totoong nagkaroon nga ng bayaran and or tanim na witness, because very clear po yan sa revised penal code natin. In Article 361 po nakalagay dyan, proof of truth, diba? In every criminal prosecution for libel, the truth may be given in evidence to the court, and if it appears that the matter charged as libelous is true and moreover that it was published with good motives and for justifiable ends, the defendant shall be acquitted. Okay, so nakalagay dito kung totoo, the defendant shall be acquitted. However, meron po yang requirements, at ang requirement po niyan is that it was published with good motives and for justifiable ends. Okay, so kahit na po yun nga nagkaroon nga ng for discussion purposes, nagkaroon ng bayaran or tanim na witness, pero kung pinublish mo po yung fact ngayon tapos yung napakita po ngayon ng prosecution na when you publish that is meron kang malicious intent na para manirang puri, pwede ka pa rin po maging liable for the crime of libel. Ang mangyayari lang po dyan ngayon, mas mahirapan magpa-convict for the crime. But again, truth po is not an absolute defense if it will not be clearly established po by the defense na meron siyang good motive or justifiable end sa pag-publish niya na yun. Okay? So, i-rephrase ko lang po para mas maintindihan natin. Okay? So, number one, truth is not an absolute defense. Okay? There is a second requirement po kasi. So, yung second requirement po niyan is that dapat may good motive ka and justifiable end sa pag-publish mo nun. Okay? So, again, kahit na po totoo pa yun na meron ngang ganun na ginawa ang isang tao tapos pinagkalat mo yun sa public, if you will not be able to prove kung ano yung good motive mo dun, pwede ka pa rin po maging liable for the crime of libel. So ito po, you can also apply this to our everyday lives. Diba? Kung merong mga may utang sa atin, wag nyo po basta-basta i-post yan. Kahit na po totoong may utang yan, pero kung wala kayong good motive or justifiable ends, posible at pwede po kayo maging liable for the crime of cyber libel. So I suggest before you post anything in social media, always consult po a licensed professional para iwas na lang po kayo sakit ng ulo. Kasi imaginein po ninyo in the crime of libel po kasi, usually ang ginagamit lang ding evidence against the accused dito is sarili lang din po niyang post, 'di ba? Kasi manggagaling po sa inyo yung libelous statement eh. So yun lang din yung isasubmit ngayon ng isang complainant sa korte, tapos kailangan mapakita ngayon ng prosecution sa korte na there was malicious intent in publishing that, at kung mapakita yun na may malicious intent, automatic po that it will be considered as a libelous statement. Okay? Again, kahit na po totoo yun, pero kung malisyoso nyo pa rin pag-publish, you will still be held liable. Okay? So anyway, ngayon punta po tayo sa final portion for today's video. So, ang alam ko po itong mga pangalan na to yung mga nasama po sa kaso. So, kung makikita po nyo, number 1, Trixie Cruz Angeles and Ahmed Paglinawan. 2, Crisette Kifichu. 3, Rabrances Forsas Rogando Sasot. Number 5, Aaron Peña alias Old School Pinoy. Number 6, Jay Sonza. 7, Banat Bay 2.0. 8, Tio Morena. 9, Redel Esguera. 10, Joy Cruz alias Joy de Vivre Every Other Day. 11, Jeffrey K. Eric Celis. 12, Attorney Randolph B. Libayan of Batas Natin. So, ito po yung mga nadamay na vloggers sa kaso dito ni Senator Risa Hontiveros. So, ang kailangan nilang mapakita talaga nito nila ng mga vloggers na to is, number 1, they had good motives to publish that. If they will not be able to clearly establish that, yun po ngayon, yung magiging dilemma nitong 12 people involved. Because again, kahit na nga po, let's say, ma-prove later on na totoo ngang nagkaroon ng bayaran or tanim witness, despite that po, without the showing po, there is a clear good motive to publish, posible pa rin nga po karoon ng liability for cyber libel. Okay? But again, I would also reiterate po, hindi ko po sinasabi nagkaroon talaga ng bayaran and or tanim witness, but I am just explaining po for educational purposes para mas maintindihan nyo talaga kung ano ba yung mga legal nuances or yung mga paliko-liko po in the crime of cyber libel. Okay? And baka curious lang din po kayo bakit naging cyber libel, di ba perjury yung initial issue? Kasi yung cyber libel po, ang purpose is, or yung crime po ng cyber libel is paninirang puri. So that's a different cause of action po from perjury. Kasi sa perjury, pag ang isang witness nagsinungaling under oath, yun yan po yung cause of action, yung pagsisinungaling. So dito, since tingin ni Senator Risa itong mga tong people involved dito is nasira yung reputation niya, so meron siyang cause of action for the crime of cyber libel. And against witness Michael, meron ding possible cause of action kasi si witness Michael mismo yung umamin ngayon or nagsabi na nagsinungaling daw siya, diba? So yan po yung mga legal nuances ngayon dito sa issue ni Senator Risa Hontiveros and Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Okay, so that is all for today's discussion. Most likely po pala yung next video natin, pag-usapan natin yung case nila Atong Ang, Gretchen Barreto at yung mga missing sabongeros. Medyo interesting na po yung nagiging development So abangan po ninyo, hopefully, most likely po tomorrow ko yan ma-upload. But for today, hanggang dito lang po muna tayo. If you like more legal videos po, again, as usual, may lalabas po yan dito. I-recommend po yan ni YouTube algorithm sa inyo, so pili na lang po kayo dyan. So if you want to be notified kung meron tayong bagong update, ang kailangan nyo lang po gawin is mag-subscribe kung nasa YouTube kayo or mag-follow naman po kung nasa Facebook and or TikTok po kayo nanonood. Okay? So until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!